Afternoon everyone, I hope you're going well. Just up here on the grazing wheat under the irrigator. Just come up to check the sheep, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And yeah, we've marked another mob of lambs this morning, so we're still running at around that 150%, which is pretty good. Just come up to check, just got some lick blocks up here. And also we've just put out a trace element, just a mineral sort of magnesium mix, so they call it Min Mag. Yeah, so it's got a bit of calcium and phosphorus and magnesium and a bit of salt in it. Just helps, and I have sort of said this before, the cereals are naturally low in calcium. Now usually we run a bit of tillage radish with it as well. And for whatever reason, it's just it was purely by accident really, but it was sort of gut feel I had. The radish used to counterbalance that calcium deficiency, so the tillage radish is still in the bags in the shed. I forgot to put it in, but anyway, that's all right. So we're just chucking some supplements out for them, just to counterbalance that bit of calcium deficiency. So they've been on the lick blocks for a while, so that'll help. And then just this loose lick powder. We've just got a little homemade trough here, and yeah, I think there's half a bag a week or something. Well, I put this out yesterday, and they've already eaten half of it, so I might just top it up. And you know, if they don't need it, they won't. They won't eat it. Is sort of the pretty much the rule of thumb. And then also we've got some barley header tailings here, some straw. So this stuff, we did some feed tests last year on another paddock of grazing cereal we had. It's only actually about 10% dry matter, so that there is 90% water, which is a bit hard to believe. Like, I thought maybe it was sort of maybe 30% dry matter, 70% water. But yeah, it's only about 10 or 15%. I think the results were last year. So the roughage hay is pretty important. Same thing, just to give them a bit of fibre. They will get a little bit scary on this stuff if we're purely because there's so much water in it, if we're not careful. Yeah, but they'll sort of get into this stuff. They do it. The barley straw is quite sweet, and there will be a bit of grain in that in amongst it, so as well. So yeah, we've got plenty of it. So that was part of the reason why we did it back at harvest time. If you've been watching along just for this job, rather than feeding them, good quality hay, this is sort of all they need just to help balance the diet up. Yeah, so that's what we're up to. Pretty gloomy sort of a day. It's not really raining, but we've had a couple of misty, crappy showers. So yeah, we're just Brendan. We've got there's two mobs here of twin bearing ewes, and we marked another mob this morning, and we'll do the other mob of twin bearing ewes tomorrow. So we're essentially going to mix two mobs together, so we'll turn four mobs into two. So yeah, and we've got them on the separate paddocks of grazing cereal. So Brendan's just chucking out a bit of straw, and I've got some lick blocks here. I'll take over and chuck in there for them. And yeah, so no, finished sowing the bulk of the lucerne this morning. We had a bit of a tragedy this morning. With being part of the Rural Fire Service, we got a call early this morning to a traffic accident where, sadly the occupant was deceased when we got there. We've been lucky really with the road we live on. It's quite a busy road, and there's been a few other accidents we've been to, but no one's sort of been seriously hurt or lost their life. But yeah, at the time, sort of unfortunately, we had one this morning where the guy lost his life. So yeah, we're sort of still dealing with that a little bit, and probably will for the next few days. So, but yeah, that was first thing this morning. So anyway, that wasn't the greatest way to start the day, but yeah, we'll keep chipping away at it. So yeah, once the weather sort of nicks off, hopefully we can get a bit of spraying done, some of this in-crop spraying done. We've still got vetch to sow on a contract job. Once Brendan's finished running out the bit of straw and that with the little fent, we might put the multi-disc on. We've got to go down there, and they want us to multi-disc some wheel tracks, so we'll slip down there and do that. And yeah, as per usual, no shortage of something to do. Anyway, keep tuning in. Afternoon again. Yeah, just got a few more lambs marked this morning, so we got the last lot of 20 ewes done. Just here, we've got these, I think I spoke about a couple little patches here under the pivot of lucerne that's got washed out, so we sprayed it out and one of the boys ran the multi-disc over it, and I'm just running a bit of pre-emergent chemical out, and I'm just going to re-sow it. So there'll be about 6 or 8 hectares that we'll have a crack at re-sowing. Tony's just poking around doing a couple of jobs in the workshop. Brendan's down, he's down with the multi-disc, doing a bit of multi-discing where we've got a sowing job to do or been doing. So just doing some wheel tracks down where, if you've been watching on where we did I took the drone footage and that where they were chopping the corn, so he's just in there chopping up some wheel tracks, and then once we finish sowing here, we'll take the air setter down there, and we've got some veg to sow down there. So a bit of a gloomy day. Again, the wind's up. The sun was shining earlier on, but yeah, we're sort of moving into that winter pattern. Once we get this bit of pre-em out, I'll decontaminate the boom spray while we're going, and then we can start, and hopefully the next day or two we can get on to some in-crop spraying. So yeah, we've got the vetch needs spraying, needs a grass spray, and then the GM canola and the Clearfield canola both need spraying as well. So anyway, we'll keep rolling here. Okay, next day. So we're just out here, got the tractor and boom shifted out here to do some in-crop spraying. Got a trailer load of chemical. Just been down, we got the air setter shifted back down to the big dairy farm. Brendan's down there just sowing some vetch. We're just a bit of mucking around, getting it calibrated and the air setter loaded. Tony's out here. We're just gonna start and mark some lambs out here tomorrow, so he's just out here doing a few little welding jobs on the yards. You probably can't see him, he's just over the hill there. Yeah, just swinging a couple of gates that got broken hinges, and yeah, just patching up a bit of fence. So we're going to spray these canola paddocks, and we're also going to spray our vetch and clover out here, do a grass spray in it probably tomorrow. But I'm going to spray this is the Clearfield canola. We're going to spray the GM canola, Roundup Ready canola. I kept walking and walked away from the trailer. I can't talk to you about what I was going to show you what I was going to tell you. Hang on, I'll just get back here. So yeah, going to spray the jam canola this afternoon. There's about 75 hectares of it. So what we've got here is a product. It's a glyphosate product, a high load glyphosate. It's actually in a granular. Now there's not many products they sort of recommend or Roundup. There's plenty of glyphosate, generic glyphosate brands. I think there's 30 or 40, something silly from different companies. But what we try and tend to do is, if we use the proper Roundup Ready plant, what they call plant shield stuff, it's sort of guaranteed that it is pure glyphosate. It doesn't actually take a lot of other chemicals to kill canola. So the likes of a Group B chemical, if you've got some residue left in the boom spray, you don't need a lot of it, and it will actually kill the canola. So that's why we tend to use that granular stuff, because they guarantee that it is pure. So it's also pretty important to do. It's one I sort of mentioned. We were if I can get it out, decontaminating the boom spray. So we put a product in it that strips the chemical out of the lines, and we run plenty of fresh water through it and actually leave the it's a bit like a White King, like a whatever that is. I can't think of the active off the top of my head now, but yeah, we put that product in it and let it sit overnight, and then rinse fresh water through it, and that sort of just make sure that it's nice and clean, because again, doesn't take much of other chemicals to knock the canola. So anyway, we'll get set up here and get loaded. It's a bit later in the day than what I was hoping, but anyway, we're just way it is, unfortunately. So anyway, we'll get set up and get loaded and get going. Alright, we're rolling here. I haven't got a lot of GoPro battery left, so I'll just show you quickly. So I've spoken about this before. We've got an app called Ag World, which is cloud-based. We've got it on our laptop at home as well. So what we've got now is our agronomist, basically, he does a recommendation at his end with 0.8 of ammonium sulfate, the plant shield that I spoke about, and then dual gold, which we put in as well, and then it brings up a map. So if I just go, what I can do is then he just sends it out as a plan, and I just go to convert and just convert it to an actual, and then I can just press next. But what I do is I go to the weather station at home, if it'll load. FYI, the phone and internet service is slowly getting worse. So where are we? Weather network. Oh, it's taking so long. Alright, so I think our one's that one, Ruger. And then what I do is I'll just take a screenshot of what that reading is at the moment. So that'll give me the wind and temperature and what the delta T is. And then if I go back to our app, I've lost it, where is it there? And what I can do is if I go down and I can, well, it says add a weather record, but what I can do is just attach a photo. So what I do is I just attach that screenshot to that reco, and then I can just press next. Bear with me, I'll just spin around at the end here. Just wanted to drop my phone. Just press go on the GPS, hopefully. Be right. So yeah, so just attach the picture of the weather station to it, and then just submit it, and then and then it just converts it as a plan to the actual, and then when I go home on the laptop at home, we'll have a copy of it at home. So modern technology isn't all that bad. So anyway, this one's a bit of everything. There's we're sort of going in a few different directions at the moment with what's going on the farm. So more landmarking tomorrow. We're into the single bearing ewes tomorrow. These lambs are going to be a bit bigger, so there'll be plenty of belly aching from Brendan tomorrow. He's been picking them up. So, but anyway, we'll get. Sarah said she's going to take a bit of footage tomorrow, so yeah, we'll get that one together and get it up. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Ta-da.